Hi everybody. This is how to mark up your music and a couple of notes about perpetual motion from the music that you received last week. So when we look at perpetual motion, you can see that there are basically the rhythm is all eighth notes. So we only have a rhythm of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that continues for the entire piece. So as you are playing along with either a metronome or a recording, then you can just keep that rhythm nice and steady. You can go slow to begin with, as this one is a little bit of a challenge to play. Then the next thing we need to draw our attention to is that in this second measure, you can see here we have a 4 and we have a 0, but they're written on the same note. That's our E. So instead of playing E on the E string in this exercise or in this piece of music, we're also going to be playing the E on A4. So if you've had your fret or your fingerboard marked up with our lines, that means we're using our pinky on A4. That's the above the A3 position that we have. So looking at this piece of music then, when we're looking at what strings to play, we're going to do our same highlighting that we've done before. So we'll start in on these first two measures. So all of this, all the way through until we get to this last two notes right here, everything is going to be played on the A string. So we're going to highlight those green. So all of those notes are all being played on the A string. And you can see that they've already marked in all of those numbers for us. So we have 0, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4. And then this one, so let's mark the note. This one is the same as this note. So we have another 2. So we can mark that one in. And then we go back to a 3 and a 1. Then we move on and we get the E string. So we'll mark that one a different color. And again, it's open E, just like it tells us here. Then, as we move across, now you can see that these two measures, the next two measures, are almost the same as the previous two. So you can see that we have this pattern repeated in these two measures. It's pretty much identical on those parts. Then for this measure and this measure, now it becomes slightly different. Whereas this one goes up at the end, the last two go down at the end. So we end on an A string instead of the E string. So that means when we highlight our music, now we actually have only the A string. Because again, we're playing E4. We're playing E4 again here. And now we go down to the A string on A0. So if you'd like to mark in those fingers, although I'm pretty sure now, if you look at these two exercises, hopefully you can do this without marking in every single one. But we have 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 2, 3, 4, and 3, 3, 1, 0. So there we have the first four measures. Next, we're going to look at these next two measures. So now we've moved up. We're above the E string now. So here's our open E. And so since all of these notes happen above the open E string, that's going to all be on the E string. So we're going to highlight those, our pinky purple color. And then we have 2 on the E string, and then we go back down to the A string, but end on the E string here. So we can see that we've got 3, 2, 1, 1, and then we have a 2, 1, 0, 0. And again, a 1, 0. And now we're hopping down to the A string. We'll highlight those our other color. And now we're going to write in our numbers. So we already know this is a 3 on the A string, so A3, A2, A1, but we end on our open E. So once again, now we hop on over to this one, and we can see that for the most part, the beginning is the same. So we have the same notes here. Oh, I'm sorry, circled the wrong part there. We have the same notes here that we have down below. That's exactly the same. So these two parts are identical. So we'll highlight those purple again. And then we'll highlight our E string there, and then everything else is on the A string. Goes below E, above A, or A and above. So then we can mark those in again. We have 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now, before we move on to the middle part, we can actually see one final thing that's going to be identical, and that is our first 4 measures, so up to here. Those 4 measures are the same, they're repeated down below. So here we have the same pattern of these 4. So those are identical, so you can just copy that down, right? So our final piece now, we need just our next 4 measures right here, beginning here, ending here. So now we still have some similarities. This measure is identical. This measure is identical. So we've got a set of 2 measures and 2 measures that are the same. So now we'll mark those up quickly. We have all on the A string to begin with. So we highlight those our green color. And then we transition to partly on the A string because we have A4. And then we move up to the E string. So once again, we can mark that one up, and we have 2, 0, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, and then we change to the E string, 0, 1, and we can see it's just going up by step, so it will be 2, 3. So now you have enough information to then copy that onto our next 2 measures here and here. All right, that should be everything that you need to then finish or complete your work with perpetual motion. Good luck.